year. The key question with Larry Bird, they were in a hard cap in the NBA. And when you look at this and bringing it back home, Adam Silver, Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Breanna Stewart, who are the superstars of the WNBA, but especially for Caitlin because she has such brand marketing deals, probably averaging $30 to $50 million a year. The bird rights gives a team an opportunity to re-sign its best player and not be restricted by the...
Larry Bird doesn't speak for attention. The three-time champion, one of the greatest to ever play, built his legacy on silence, confidence, and presence, not headlines. In today's world of constant noise, he's become something rare, a quiet icon. But then, something changed. Just moments ago, on live TV, Larry Bird walked straight up to Caitlin Clark, took the microphone from her hands, and said something that stunned the entire sports world. And Caitlin's reaction? It said everything. Before we go further, if you appreciate content like this, take a second to subscribe. Most viewers don't, but it makes a huge difference. Now, let's get into what really happened.
Understanding now, because with Caitlin and what the players and the collective bargaining agreement are negotiating, folks, I'm wondering if it's the best fit for the top players of the WNBA. CBA agreements, the collective bargaining agreement is coming up. They're going to have an intense meeting for All-Star Weekend. And I wanted to bring this up for Caitlin Clark and the Larry Bird rights rule. Okay? And we'll start from a revenue perspective as Caitlin leads the league in revenue. Where am I going with this? It wouldn't make sense to have a contract for Caitlin Clark.
You honestly had to see it to believe it. It all started like any normal post-game interview. Caitlin Clark had just led the Indiana Fever to a gritty comeback win. 28 points, 10 assists, and a clutch three that sent the crowd into chaos. Everything felt routine. The interviewer praised her leadership, asked about team chemistry. Standard questions, standard answers. Then suddenly, the noise changed. The crowd got louder. Louder than it had been all night. From the tunnel, Larry Bird appeared. The Indiana legend, a name woven into basketball history. He walked straight toward the broadcast desk, eyes locked on Caitlin. At first, she didn't notice. She kept smiling, answering calmly. But then the interviewer stopped mid-sentence. The camera pulled back. Fans stood to their feet. And Caitlin finally turned around. She froze. Not fear, just pure shock. Because Larry Bird doesn't show up like this. And yet, there he was, walking directly toward her. The energy in the arena shifted instantly. You could feel it. Then something completely unscripted happened. Larry Bird reached out, took the microphone from Caitlin Clark, and looked straight into the camera. "I've been watching this game a long time," he said calmly, "and I've never seen anything like this." He paused. "She's the real deal. The toughest player I've seen since the 80s. And I'm not staying quiet while people try to tear her down." For a second, silence. Then the arena exploded. This wasn't just praise. This was defense. This was a legend stepping in, calling out the noise, the criticism, the doubt. Because Caitlin Clark, the rookie who's been booed, hit hard, questioned, and constantly judged, still shows up every single night. And then came her reaction. She covered her face. Her head dropped. Her voice disappeared. For the first time on live TV, she cried. Not out of weakness, but because someone who understands greatness had just recognized it. But Larry Bird wasn't finished. "She doesn't need protection," he said firmly, "but she does deserve respect. And if you can't give her that, then you're not watching basketball." No filters, no script. Just truth. Classic Larry Bird. He handed the microphone back. Caitlin wiped her tears. The interviewer quietly stepped aside. And in that moment, something bigger than basketball happened. It was the past meeting the future. Because the reality is this. Caitlin Clark has carried more pressure than almost any rookie ever. Every move analyzed. Every mistake magnified. Every game under a microscope. She became the face of the league's future, while dealing with the weight of its present. And through it all, she never broke. Larry Bird saw that. Because he's lived it. He knows what it feels like to walk into hostile arenas, to be doubted for your confidence, to be criticized simply for being great. And in that moment, he made sure the world saw it too. In Caitlin Clark, Larry Bird didn't just see talent. He saw something deeper, a competitor, someone who plays to win, speaks her truth, and refuses to shrink herself just to make others comfortable. And that matters, because in today's game, most athletes are filtered, carefully managed, media-trained, polished. But Caitlin has always been different. She's real, and that realness, it made her a target, overrated, entitled, too confident, too loud, too visible. The labels kept coming. But Larry Bird ignored all of it, because to him, none of that matters. He sees basketball. And Caitlin Clark is exactly that, a basketball player. His message was simple. She belongs. She's part of this game. And if you can't see that, then maybe you don't understand it. Within minutes, everything exploded online. Both names started trending. Former players spoke out. Legends showed support. One comment stood above the rest. Larry Bird doesn't talk for attention. If he said it, it's real. Another simply said, this is the moment the WNBA grows up. And for once, even the critics went quiet. When Larry Bird speaks, you listen. The reaction was immediate. The clip spread everywhere. Within hours, it was on every major platform. By the next morning, it had millions of views. The impact went beyond social media. Tickets sold out. Attention surged. Conversations shifted. Suddenly, the tone changed. Analysts stopped nitpicking. Comment sections cooled down. The constant criticism lost its edge. Because Larry didn't just defend her, he changed the energy around her. He made it uncool to tear her down. And the most powerful part? Caitlin Clark didn't need to respond. Larry Bird did it for her, and his words carried decades of respect. This wasn't hype. This was a turning point. He said what many were thinking. Let her play. Let her grow. Stop treating excellence like it's a problem. And after that moment, something shifted. Caitlin played freer, lighter, more confident. That night, she took over, dropping 14 points in the fourth quarter alone. Later, reporters asked her about it. She paused, took a breath, and said quietly, I didn't expect it, but if Larry Bird believes I belong, then I'm done doubting myself. That's the kind of quote people don't forget. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records. She's breaking barriers. She's not asking for special treatment. She's asking for fairness. And finally, someone with enough respect to stop the entire conversation stepped forward and said, she's earned it. Larry Bird didn't plan that moment, but it became something bigger than anyone expected. Because it wasn't just a legend defending a young star. It was a legend recognizing the future and protecting it. And now, Caitlin Clark is carrying that future forward without hesitation. If you believe in moments where legends recognize the next generation, hit like, subscribe, because stories like this, they don't happen often.